folks, and welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. I have the pleasure today to introduce my friend Bean from Cincinnati, Ohio, and the host of the excellent boxing podcast called the Ring Walk Boxing Podcast. And good morning to you, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's a little early in the morning here, and sad to say it's raining, but it's a good day to be catching up and talking about boxing.
For sure, for sure.
So let's get right to it, shall we? I'm going to kick off with the David Morrell and Iman Katayev fight. Let me know what you thought of that.
Um, what I thought about it was a good matchup, a good contrast of two different styles. I wasn't so privy on Katiev prior to the fight, so I
Hmm.
always like to see a fighter I have never seen fight. Then that way they can be on my radar, and I start to do more, background work on them. Kind of like Andrew Ruiz. When he
Yeah,
beat AJ, I had to go back and look at his past history. Like, oh, this guy had an amateur background. He had sparred, Evander Holyfield. Like, so you see a lot of things you didn't know about people. Saying all that to say, it was a good match. Did the right man win? Is the question. It's controversial. I need to go see it again to be fair. Fights like that are controversial, I need to watch a second time with the volume off. I like to tune out the commentary because you don't want to let that give you a false sense of who won because the commentary is always praising a certain fighter for anything they do, even if they miss a punch. Oh, he threw a left hook, but it didn't land. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah.
I want to go back and actually see it a second time before I can actually make a real locked in, for sure answer. But from what I saw, from what I saw, a good, pretty tight fight. But I think that Katiev would edge it just because of the knockdown round. That it was kind of a fight that could have been maybe it would have leaned towards a draw, but with that knockdown, I think that would edge him the win.
Yeah, my feeling was that that the Russian guy sort of clearly won. Um, I thought David Morrell seemed to sort of be a little showboating and maybe a little too casual at the beginning. You know, sticking out his tongue and trying to be all fancy. And you know, I looked at that Russian guy and I thought. That guy is not here to play games. That guy looks like one tough dude.
I agree. I agree.
But I had not, to be honest, I was kind of uninformed about Imam Katayev. I had never seen him fight before. I knew nothing about him. So I put some money on David Morrell because I was expecting a one sided beatdown. Well, to my eye, I saw a one sided beatdown, but not the way that I was expecting it to be.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So,
Um, it was good, man. Like I said, I'm gonna go watch it again because fights like that are tight, it's always fun to watch them back anyway because it was a controversial decision. So I want to go see it again.
yeah, I would guess that this morning David Morrell and his team are having some serious discussions about like you know we got to do some proper research. We have to have a better strategy, and we can't be taking sort of unknown fighters lightly because that was a real banana skin. And you know this is the guy who knocked down David Benavidez, and it he looked fragile last night to my eye, but I hear you about the commentary. The commentary is so biased always, eh?
Yes. Yes.
Um, now the fight that I think I really enjoyed watching a lot was the Subarel Matias and Alberto Puello fight. Did you manage to catch that one?
Yes, I did.
And
Can
what
you
was
see
your?
me pretty good?
Yeah, I can see you. Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
I thought that was a good match. Actually, that's one of the better matches of that card. Um, a lot of back and forth, a lot of give and take. Uh, Pretty much almost evenly proportioned. Going back and forth. They were both giving some and taking some. Um, the decision, I guess, was a shocker to some. And that's another fight I would like to watch again because it seemed to be a tight fight. I guess it could have been a draw. I guess it could have went either way. Uh, Fights like that sometimes are kind of hard to judge.
Yeah, I felt that the right man sort of got the decision, but I'll put my prejudice, if you like, front and center, because I usually will prefer the more front-footed, the more aggressive fighter. So, that's my sort of bias a little bit, if you like.
I get it. I understand. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's called like Brooklyn scoring or something, where you always sort of reward the aggressive fighter.
Right. Right. Right.
Um, the fight of the night for me, which I don't know if it was the fight of the night for you, but I really, really liked the Shakur Stevenson fight. What was your thinking on that?
Yes. Shakur Stevenson, uh, to me, showed the level that he can raise the bar a little bit. He can go into another gear. I guess he showed many of us who would be a critic of him that, yeah, hey, I can get in the pocket a little more and I can stand in there with a pressure fighter. Now, to be fair, because I don't want to take away from his accomplishment, but I don't like the comparison when people say, well, Zapata did this and then you got Tank Davis. It's like, that's a different that's a different can of beans. Tank is a knockout puncher that can knock you out with one punch,
Yeah.
whereas Zapata is knocking you out with accumulation. He's
Mhm.
very accumulation, rapid fire. He keeps coming from the body to the head, whereas Tank, he sets up traps to knock you out.
Yeah, I would agree with that. By the way, your camera is kind of cutting you off a little bit at your chin, so
Okay.
you might want to adjust your camera to give you a little bit more of the shoulders, because I can
Okay.
see you, but it's kind of cutting off your chin there.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I think Shakur. Oh, that's
That
perfect.
better?
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, man. Um, I think Shakur. Well, quite frankly, I think Shakur and Zapata gained fans last night. My impression of Shakur was that Shakur, is a defensively blessed. He's very, very skilled. But last night he showed a kind of a steal, if you like. Like, he was done with this Tom and Jerry kind of nonsense that people talk about. And I think he got into that ring last night with the attitude that, like, hey, I'm going to show you something that I've not necessarily had to show you before. And I thought he did a really good job. I mean, I don't like Shakur Stevenson for a number of reasons, but I liked what he did last night.
I did too. Now, my critique with Shakur is this, because I know people say he's a master defensive boxer, and then people talk about Sugar Ray Leonard. They talk about Muhammad Ali. They talk about Sugar Ray Robinson, all these guys who had a defensive. But with Shakur is different. He does have a high level of defense, but I think some boxers are so defensive that they start to lack offense.
Uh huh.
Not saying he doesn't punch at all, but the punch volume and output is not that high. Just like if a puncher like Zapata, who's so offensive that he may neglect his defense and leave himself more vulnerable to being counterpunched because he's so busy trying to nail his target. So it kind of works both ways. You kind of have you want to have that balance. To me, the balance was with Muhammad Ali, with Sugar Ray Leonard. Yes, they were defensive, but they could output and do a lot of damage. Whereas Shakur, in this fight, he stepped it up more than normal, but a lot of times his punch output wasn't all that high.
Yeah, I mean, I would say his punch output generally is not high. His accuracy is always good. Um, you know, the the thing that I liked last night is that he seemed to sort of dig down, and that's not something that I'd really appreciated before. That he and maybe it's because fighters who've got brittle hands, they're sometimes very reluctant to let those hands go. But last night it seemed that Shakur had gotten over that issue.
I
And
agree. Sure.
But Zepeda, I mean, Zepeda has got to be like I would buy a ticket to see Zepeda uh, again. Like he is an entertaining fighter. I know he lost last night, and I think Shakur got the correct decision. I don't know if it was as wide as the judges were saying, but Zepeda was very, very entertaining.
Absolutely, he was. Yeah. He
Uh,
he made it. Yeah, he made it. He pressed the action. He did what I expected for him to do. Um, so he pretty much did, what I thought that he would do. But Shakur did show that, hey, uh, I'm going to show you better than I could tell you, because he kept saying before that, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna be in the pocket more. I'm gonna show you that I can dog it out, and he did that.
yeah, he did
He
that.
did that.
I'm not sure how he would have fared with a Tank Davis. I mean, that's a different fighter, a different strategy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I see that Shakur Stevenson had said something really stupid on social media recently. He was digging out the incomparable all-time great Sugar Ray Robinson, which struck me as being a really stupid thing for a modern boxer to say. Even if he believed it, he should just keep his yap shut.
Yeah, I seen that, and I didn't even have a response to that. Some things people say, I don't even give them time or energy,
Yeah, it's
and
like
he's one in that situation. I won't even give him my energy.
Yeah, that's probably the right attitude. It's like, it'd be like a modern sprinter trashing Jesse Owens or Carl Lewis. Like, just be quiet,
Exactly. Somebody who paved the way for you
Yeah,
to be who you
exactly.
are.
And
Your style is, yeah.
I'm a huge Sugar Ray Robinson fan. Even the last time I was down in LA, I made like a pilgrimage to Sugar Ray Robinson's gravesite, and this is like for a modern athlete, especially a kid like who doesn't know his history, to run off the mouth like that. That was just outrageous. But yeah, I don't know. what, what was he thinking?
Exactly, exactly. He
um,
wasn't thinking.
that's it. That's it. He wasn't thinking. Um, I would imagine that his manager or his business advisor was going like, "Oh no, man, shut up."
Exactly. Yep.
um, uh, I see that the co-main event, Hamza Shiraz and Edgar Berlanga was. It kind of surprised me with the ending. What was your take on that?
Oh, man. Uh, I don't know that I expected to see even a knockout, or if it was a knockout, I would think late rounds due to somebody maybe getting tired and then the other guy taking advantage. But I didn't see a fifth round KO. I didn't see, not only that, to have knocked him down twice and then knocked him down a third time. I did not see that coming. But to be fair, Berlanga got what he asked for. He rubs his mouth so much and gets very disrespectful. And he was humble. He
Yeah,
was humble.
I have followed Hamza Shiraz for a while. I've often thought that Hamza Shiraz had too much pressure on him. He's a Riyadh season ambassador. He's a person of the Muslim faith, so he's tied to a Turkey Al Sheikh, and I thought that put so much pressure on him. He's a young guy, but maybe that unfortunate display against Carlos Adames, and then maybe going with Andy Lee and gaining a little bit of weight, it's sort of all settled him out. Because Hamza Shiraz last night I think he answered a lot of questions.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely did. And then I saw something. I don't know if it was from a tweet or what, social media platform, but Turkey Alashake makes a statement, and I'm paraphrasing, not the exact words, but something to the extent of, I think that Hamza pretty much has won his way to a Canelo fight. So I wonder if that's going to be a possible fight that we may see next year.
Yeah, I mean, Canelo is under contract now with Turkey Al Sheikh for several fights. So he's got the Crawford fight coming up, which is going to be arguably one of the biggest fights of the year. Um, let's just sort of speculate. How would you see a Hamza Shiraz based on last night's performance against a Canelo? What's your very preliminary initial thinking on that?
Now I know style makes fights because a lot of people are saying, well, Hamza was able to stop Berlanga, and Berlanga was able to take Canelo the distance.
Uh huh.
But what Hamza showed was a smart, calculated pressure. The way he threw those flurries were very fast and vicious. Now, I don't feel that that same style towards Canelo will be as effective. Not saying it won't have effect, but Canelo's chin is a lot better than Berlanga. So it would definitely be a fight where Hamza would want to be keep it long. You got the reach advantage, so use that jab as much as you can. Now, once he starts to step in close, throw those hooks and those body shots. But when he's long away from you, use that jab. Think Larry Holmes. Think Lennox Lewis. What would they do? They're going to use that jab. Muhammad Ali. They're going to use that jab. The jab is one of the most important punches in boxing, and I hate to see it neglected.
Yeah, no, I think that is definitely the way for Hamza to play to his strengths, right? He's got that height advantage, he's got that reach advantage, he's got the leverage advantage. Um, that would be the key to success. Um, what I don't think I've seen is Hamza Shiraz being put under tremendous pressure and how he's going to react to the pressure. Because Canelo could bring pressure to him.
Yes, he can.
Whereas, Edgar Berlanga, um, yeah, he never seemed to really get in the fight. I'm not sure what his game plan was. I was expecting him to come out more aggressively, but he seemed to come out sort of trying to feel out Hamza Shiraz, and that he never seemed to really get underway. That was my impression. What did you think of that?
You make a good assessment. I think the same. I think that this is somebody totally new to him, and he hasn't fought somebody or had an expectancy that somebody would come to be that ferocious. He probably thought it was going to be, you know, touch, here and there, kind of like he didn't expect that Hamza was going to turn up the way he did, like that he would go up in gear like that. I don't think he didn't see that coming. He
Yeah,
didn't see that coming at all.
I think you're
So I
right.
think Hamza, it just goes to show that hey, certain people have a certain instinct in them, and if they choose to let it go, that's the result of how it could end.
I've noticed that Hamza, when he has his opponent hurt, he's very vicious in his finishing, and he throws punches even as his opponent is going down. Like he's that's something I think he's going to have to watch because he hit Bradley Skeet when Bradley Skeet was down, and last night as Berlanga was going down, there were more punches coming in, and I think a referee with eagle eyes might pick him up on that in future. I think that's an area he's going to have to watch, but. Yeah.
But now that you said that, you bring a good point. It could be like the him hitting him while he's going down is kind of like the Ray Mercer and Tommy Morrison.
Hmm.
Maybe when a person just has a certain instinct and that fighting instinct and spirit just takes over, all inhibitions let loose.
Yeah.
They might just kind of like black out. So he doesn't realize that he's pounding on a guy that's kind of going down. He just knows to go for what he goes for,
Yeah.
and
You
that's a
know,
dangerous person.
I was just thinking as you were talking, you remember the ninth round in the first Usyk Fury fight when Fury was in the corner and Usyk had one more punch left and he stopped. I'm thinking there's a lot of heavyweights like Lennox Lewis or Ray Mercer
Exactly.
who would have had that last punch would have been in. No way.
Holyfield. Holyfield would have went for him. Them type of guys.
Or
Like
George
you said.
Foreman, George Foreman,
Yep. George
career
Foreman.
number one.
Yep. Yep. Those guys they don't have that. That's what Usyk does have. And I think even I see Muhammad Ali do that too, where he hurt what's that guy? Ron Lyle.
Yeah,
He started beating him up so bad he went to the ref and did his hands like, hey, no more.
yeah,
He was pulling back. He was pulling back. He could have really commenced to really going at him more, and Ali just did like this, like pretty much stopped the fight.
yeah, yeah. Whereas, George Foreman, career number one. They say you need a gang of guys to pull him off.
Exactly. Exactly.
um, but it was an exciting card last night. I definitely enjoyed it. Did you watch any of the Netflix card the night before the ladies boxing?
I did. Yes.
What did you think of the Katie Taylor Amanda Serrano 3 fight?
Oh man, I don't want to sound so harsh, but respect to them ladies for getting in the ring, but it was a very lackluster trilogy. I
Uh-huh.
mean, that particular fight. Now,
Yeah.
the first two fights were fireworks, but that last one didn't live up to the expectation that you would think would be mounting up from the first two fights. Uh, they both, I mean, pretty much Katie Taylor was doing the counterpunch on her off her back foot, and then Serrano was doing the simple 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and it's like, come on. Before this, in the second fight, you were toe to toe with her, you were in a dog fight, and you looked like you were wanting to win. And I felt like she won. I feel like Serrano won the second fight.
Yeah.
Now, the first fight can be argued maybe a draw, but the second fight, I felt like Serrano made enough separation and was busy enough to win. But I felt like Taylor won this past weekend.
Yeah. It, I like Amanda Serrano. I like Katie Taylor. I'm not a huge fan of the female game. Like I don't profess to have any real expertise or anything, but I agree with you that this third fight was I hate to use the word, but it was a disappointment because I was expecting so much. It was like I don't know if I was expecting the thriller in Manila, but I was definitely expecting those two ladies to go at it, and it seemed almost like kind of a little bit like an exhibition that they were just fighting a different type of fight, but hard to say really. I'm wondering if that's the end for Katie Taylor, or is she going to have that trilogy with Chantel Cameron? I wonder.
Well, and the crazy thing is that a lady from here, from the state of Ohio, the state I'm from, Alicia Bumgarner was on that same card,
Uh huh.
and she's been saying that she wants the winner of Katie Taylor and Serrano 3. So now she's calling out Katie Taylor. So
Yeah, that could be a
if it's
good
not
fight.
Chantel, it could be Miss Bumgarner.
Yeah, I think Alicia Baumgartner, she's she might be more of a draw, if you look at it from the business side of things, because she's certainly a person who's got a lot of followers herself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
And look, she's a very attractive lady.
oh yeah, she doesn't look like what she does, kind of thing.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Um, but I see that the GWOAT, the greatest woman of all time, had to make it all about herself. I saw some social media posts from Clarissa. She's a character, huh?
Yeah, she is. She is a character.
I wouldn't
Uh,
want. I wouldn't want to argue with her though. I think I'd be kind of scared of her.
yeah, man. She has a movie out too. I haven't seen all of it. I've seen a portion of her movie, but it kind of gives you the backstory
Yeah,
of her upbringing and stuff like that.
she's a tough lady. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yes, yes.
Now we've got a few minutes left before we run out of time, and I thought I'd ask you because I know that you'll be really neutral. I'm mostly neutral, but I must confess I am Team Usyk. um, how do you see the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world unfolding next Saturday? Alexander Usyk, the unified champion, versus Daniel Dubois, the British guy, the IBF champion. How do you see that playing out?
Well, let me say this: as an Anthony Joshua fan, one would think that I want to see Usyk lose because he beat AJ twice. That's not the case because I wanted Usyk to beat Fury, and he did that twice.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to Daniel Dubois, looking at it from the standpoint of just all around skills, you got to always give it to Usyk. Usyk is more skilled than everybody,
Hmm.
and Tyson Fury is a very skilled guy, and even Usyk runs circles around him on a skill level. He just doesn't have the power because he doesn't have the size and the height of Fury and the long arms, to that when Fury's hitting you, all that impact behind his body weight. But Usyk has everything else other than the raw power. Usyk has everything else, and he's a southpaw, so that gives people issues. I think this time around, though, even if Dubois comes up short, I see a much better effort this time. I don't think that he's going to take a knee or get discouraged or whatever. I think he's going to go for the gusto, and I think he's going to zone in on the body of Usyk. I see a lot of the film with him and his trainer. I can't think of his name right now.
Don
Don
Charles.
Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Don Charles. And I see them working a lot on body shots. So I think the body implementation is going to be a huge part of what he's going to display next weekend.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
the way I see it is I think Dubois is going to come out really, really, really aggressive. I think the first four rounds or so are going to be very tough for Usyk. But then, provided Usyk can survive, I see Usyk going through some gears, and maybe Daniel is getting tired. That's a lot of muscle to carry around. By
Right.
about round 8 or round 9, that's where I see Usyk really beginning to shine. Um, I'm very hopeful that Usyk will win. Like you, I think it'll be a lot harder this time. Daniel's grown. He's a real man now. He's bigger. He's got huge confidence. Um, I'm very hopeful that Usyk will win, but I must confess, I've put a few dollars on Daniel Dubois because if Usyk loses, I'll be sad, but at least I'll have won some money. So
Right. Absolutely.
so I'm betting on the guy that I don't want to win, if that makes any sense at all.
Hey, man, it happens, man. It's all fair.
Um, if if Daniel Dubois wins, do you think there's any chance that he will fight Tyson Fury?
Great question. He's already called out Tyson Fury to my understanding.
Uh huh.
So that's already on his radar. I think so. Now the question is, will Fury fight Dubois, or will he try to go another route and play his little game? We're gonna see. I'm gonna watch it real closely.
Yeah.
Something tells me that Fury likes to weasel his way or slither his way out of certain opponents because there's certain styles that bother Fury. There's two main styles I think that will bother Fury, and you don't see those styles often as far as a Usyk. There's only one Usyk in the
Yeah.
heavyweight division.
Yeah.
So he's just a diamond in the rough, so to speak.
Yeah.
But his style will always give an issue to Fury because he's like a mirror of Fury, but he can do everything he does better and faster and quicker.
Yeah. I agree.
Everything Fury does, Usyk can do.
Yeah. I think that's very fair. And of course, Usyk lives the life, right? He doesn't go
That too.
drinking and other bad habits in between fights. So, anyways, it's going to be an exciting week. Fight week is always lots of stuff. I hope Don Charles and the rest of the team are more respectful of Usyk. This nonsense about his religious beliefs and stuff like that. I hate all that stuff. That spoils the fight for me.
Absolutely.
Anyways, looks like we've come up on our hard stop, so I'll close it down there. It's been really, really good having you join me. To those people watching, I'd really like it if you gave Bean a Ring Walk Boxing podcast a look-see and a subscription. There's Ring Walk Boxing podcast has a live show every Sunday and videos throughout the week. Lots of good stuff. So head on over to Ring Walk Boxing podcast, please. And thank you all so much for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and wherever you are in the world, have a fabulous day. My friend, it's been a slice. Thank you very much for joining. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Peace, brother. Bye-bye.